gentlemen, I'm your host, Brandon Groce, and I want to welcome you to Real Talk, brought to you by Editor X, the world's most powerful no-code web design platform for designers and creatives alike. Real Talk is a live show where we share with you exciting design, news, trends, career advice, and conversations with thought leaders in the space, entrepreneurs, agency owners, and more around no-code, UI, UX, product design, and the marketing spaces, and on top of that, so much more. If that sounds right up your alley, do not forget to subscribe and hit the bell notification so you can come back each week to get your daily and weekly dose of information. And also, if you feel so inclined, don't forget to like this video. It helps tremendously. So with that said, let's jump into today's conversation. Howdy, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of Real Talk with me, your host, Brandon Groce. I am super excited today because we have two amazing hard hitters in the design and really just a lot of landscape guys, but I'm not going to steal their thunder. I'm going to let that part of the story be theirs, but I just want to intro a little bit of our two guests today. We have both Laylee and Ari of SKS Creative, and I cannot wait to bring them on stage. But before I do, I want to let you guys know a little bit about them. They are in the top 100 WIX partners. They are one of the top Upwork agencies, and they have had the pleasure of working with brands such as PlayStation, Microsoft, Epic Games, of course WIX, the US Navy, Valve, and so much more. So there's going to be a breadth of just knowledge bleeding on and sweating onto our digital stage today. So with that said, I'm not going to steal any more of their thunder. Please help me welcome them to our digital stage. And also, before we do that, I'm slowly trying to ramp up the excitement, but I want to say hello to all of you guys in the live chat. I'm glad you guys made it out here, and I can't wait for the amazing questions that you guys have, because today the conversation is for you all. We're talking about how to start and really build a agency from scratch. We're going to dive into Ari and Laylee's background, how they began to where they are today, and kind of get the nice gems and nuggets in between that time span. What are some of their challenges, how they overcame them, and so on and so forth. And really, your guys' job is really to help yourselves in the live chat, to ask your questions to help us navigate where the conversation goes. And today's session will be divided into two parts, 45 minutes of conversation between me, Laylee, and Ari. And the last 15 minutes, we will have a Q&A where all of your questions will be directed right to Ari and Laylee. So with that said, let's begin and welcome our two guests to our digital stage. What's going on? How are you guys? How are you doing, Ari and Laylee? How have you been today? What's poppin'? We've been good. We've felt each other a little bit for the last 10 minutes. We've been talking to each other, but it's good to finally get into conversation. I'm excited. So with that said, I've been talking for the past 5 minutes, and I want to hand over the microphone to you guys. And with that, I would love for you to kind of just tell our audience here and those watching, what is your guys' background? How did you guys start both independently to decide to get into an agency? What did that, and kind of where you are now? So give us and I'll let you guys determine this, the short to long version of how you guys started in design, maybe how you guys decided to start your agency, and then we'll kind of deep dive into bits and pieces in between that timeline of some challenges you guys had building your team in business. So I'll let one of you, maybe you guys can play rock, paper, scissors, decide who goes first, but beautiful. Yeah. Yeah. Got it. And actually, before we go any further, I just realized I did not actually import your audio. So we, guys, really quick. Yes, save your breath really quick. Ladies and gentlemen, we will be right back. A 1 to 2 minute break, and I will actually pull in their audio. So thank you guys for your patience. Hey, thank you guys for your patience. Really quick, I just need to do one last thing. And I can only do it while live, so just appreciate you guys. All right, cool. Just need to, all right. Thank you guys for your patience, and thank you very much for the audio cues. That's important. Obviously, we have two amazing people on. We got to hear them. So with that said, let's pull them back on. All right, so Laylee, Ari, I apologize for that. Now we should be able to, and ladies and gentlemen, let me know in the chat if this actually did not work. They should be able to hear you in like a second. Hold on. Let me see. Boom, boom. And let me see. I hope this should work. Ladies and gentlemen in the chat, can you guys, I know you guys can hear me, but can you hear them? That is the big piece. And I believe you should, but I want thumbs, green thumbs in the chat to make sure. Yes, no, maybe a little bit. All right, say something real quick. Nothing yet? No, why is it not pulling? Ladies and gentlemen, I apologize like deeply. Give me like 1 more minute, because this is gonna bring tears to my eyes really quick. Nope. All right, hold on 1 second. All right, we're back again, guys. Really quick, when do a check. All right, check 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3.
Perfect. All right, Laylee, 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3.
Beautiful. Got you both. All right.
Yay. We're here.
I was like, why is it not showing up? All right, guys. Thank you for your patience again. All right. Good thing that we're actually going to be cutting this after this live session so that you guys can get exactly what you need. All right. So, again, we're going back to your guys' grand story of beginnings to where you guys are today. Laylee, you started us off. Please, again, I know I stretch your vocal cords literally for no reason.
No worries. No worries.
But let's dive in again. You guys are very passionate, but let's dive in one more time to your grand beginnings.
Yeah, absolutely. So I've always had a passion for web design and development. I actually went to school for it, graduated college in web design and development. And I built my first website when I was like 14 years old. So this is always something that I've wanted to do. We started our business in 2014. Ari's background is in video game development. So we started with video games, mobile apps, and simulations. And we did custom websites as well. I actually started building on Wix probably over 10 years ago. So I've been using the platform for a really long time, just really love the ease of use. So we've done Wix websites, and then also starting in 2020, we kind of pivoted and started building on Editor X. So it's been a really long journey.
It definitely has. And, you know, I don't mean to start steering the conversation so early, but I'm sure a lot of people in the audience would love to know a couple things pertaining to, you know, what got you guys excited about Wix in the beginning, because there's just, especially in the design community, or at least maybe in the people that I know, there's such a misconception about that platform.
Right.
That's one conversation we can dive into. And if you guys want us to dive into that, please just put 1 in the chat and we'll dive in. But I would love to know what made you guys make that switch from Wix to Editor X. And Ari, before we dive into any one of those, do you have anything to drop in for your early beginnings, or even did you guys start your business together? Or was that did you meet each other then, you know, business? How did that did you guys like formulate like world domination together and be like, okay, SKS Creative, you know, came out of that? What happened exactly?
So yeah, we kind of came up with the idea for Shadow Knight Studio, I mean, back in like 2006, 2007. You know, we were all very passionate about video game development and just making really cool software. So that was the idea for the company a long, long time ago. It wasn't until, like Laylee said, 2014 that we really, you know, decided like, we're going to do this and this is going to be cool and awesome. We're going to do some, you know, really amazing work after college, of course, right? But anyway, yeah, so a lot of the stuff that Laylee was working on always intrigued me. You know, she was top in her class in college, and I always wanted to kind of like learn from what she was able to do and see if I can incorporate any like of the design disciplines in video game development into websites. Because, you know, back then websites were always really just static. They didn't really have a lot of movement, and now with like Editor X, you really have that ability to use that, like those techniques. So it really kind of worked hand in hand, you know, being able to bring all these disciplines together and combine them to create something really amazing in the Wix platform. But yeah, that's
crazy. So you guys literally right out of college, this was the thing. You guys have been in business for a while. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been talking to these people, you know, these two for quite some time, and I'm still getting, you know, nuggets. Obviously, you don't get to know a person over, you know, 1 or 2 chats, but, you know, I think that's amazing. You know, a lot of people, you hear both stories. Some people just like skip college, they do their thing, but you guys met each other in college, and you guys are just like, hey, we're both pretty smart. You've got this end, I've got that end. Let's put something together. So that's lovely. So, one of the kind of detouring now, how was it straight out of college? How was that decision to like build an agency? Were you guys just like, let's go ahead and, you know, see what happens? You know, because to me that's still so early in life, and I know what it's like to try to build something, and parents and or especially at that age, I'm not
Right.
sure. That's really difficult to be that young, and you know, people in your support system, they're wanting something possibly a little bit different for you. So did you guys have any like backlash from the support system of like, no, need job, why are you doing what you're doing? Was there any of that out of curiosity? Or did you guys just go?
Thankfully, no. We have an amazing support system and family who has supported us like every step of the way, and we're just so thankful for them.
Yeah.
With all of our crazy adventures, they're just like, you guys can do it, and just super supportive. So I don't think we would be where we are today without our support system.
Not possible.
I love
family.
That's really big, you know, because that was a little bit of opposite for me. But that's like, if you don't have that support in your immediate surroundings, like you have to go find that. And I'm curious,
absolutely.
like in college, besides each other, were there any other people? Like, what was that support system? How did you start to build a name for yourself, your network? Did you leverage any of those? Because you did go to college, you know, there's so many people, whether it's professors, people who are already in the industry, that you can kind of tap and be like, hey, we're trying to do this. Was that at all part of your guys' like building strategy? What did the early days of SKS Creative look like in terms of building your name, getting clients, and just like business development?
Yeah.
Even if that early on you had that name in your head, or because I definitely didn't know what business development was.
Yeah.
I was just like, I need money, I need clients. So
yeah, our first clients were family and friends. So, and from there, they spread the word about us, and it was a lot of just word of mouth. Like, hey, my daughter built this website for me. You need her to build a website for you too. And it was just that's how we built. The first website I made was for my dad's business. He's a small business owner. And he just shared it with everybody. And he's like, you need my daughter to make a website for you. So I think leaning in on whatever support system you have, whether it's friends or family, and just...
Or even within.
Yeah.
And I have a question too, because I know this is a conversation in the design community of like the no free work. Like, I want to ask you guys, it sounds to me that you all were trying to just put your expertise and your work out there. I don't know if your
Right.
dad paid you. I have no idea. But, you know, just making sure there's like a mentality. I don't know necessarily where it comes from. But people with skills think because they have those skills, even though they may not have demonstrated them, they studied them, but whether they're like, I have these skills, might not show in their portfolio or whatnot, but they expect to be paid for their expertise that has not really been shown. So
Absolutely.
What do you guys think about like that whole conversation of not doing free work, especially early on when you're really trying to, like, the goal is, because you don't have a name, is to make a name so you can make money. Like, what are your guys' thoughts on that? And if that's just like kind of how I preface that, I would love if you guys had like the opposite, because that might bring two sides of the coin to the audience here today.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, we have done free work. In the beginning, we did do free work. For my dad's site, I actually didn't charge him, but he was like, no, I have to pay you, which was amazing. But we have done free work. Would I recommend doing free work? Maybe not. There are people who will take advantage, unfortunately, and
Very true.
keep asking for updates and things like that. Instead of doing free work, I would say, create something for yourself, for your portfolio. You can create like web templates, you can do things like that. But I mean, yes, we did do that in the beginning. Ari can probably speak to that as well.
It's just kind of like what happens, especially when you're young. As you get older and more, advanced in your techniques, obviously, like, you can start to charge a premium on those abilities. Everyone starts with humble beginnings. We're no different. So that's how it ended up working out for us as well. So if that happened to you, or if it's happening to you, understand we've been in the same boat. keep pushing forward, and you can start getting some really good leads and building a really good structured business around that.
I have a specific question. Like, for example, and I guess it's not necessarily free, but it's lesser cost. Would you, for example, for a nice branded company that wants to do work with you, it might not be your price, but at least maybe you're small, maybe you're doing work with mom and pop shops. What would you do a lower paying job for a foot in the door for a company such as LG, Adobe, I'm naming my clients, whatever, Disney, whatever, Hilton.
Ooh, Disney.
Would you do, because for example, like I did for a lot of my clients, I did maybe not the full rate, but that smaller project that I did, which wasn't my rate, it got me in the foot in the door for like a lot of projects that were definitely my rate, or even like not even expected, like that pushed my rates even higher because I wasn't charging enough in the future. So have you guys had any examples of that? Would you? I don't think you would do that a lot. Like I do that very sparingly for very specific opportunities. Have you guys leveraged any opportunities like that, or how do you feel on that subject? And then after this, I won't harp on this topic too long. We'll move to another one.
So we definitely have. Whenever we do like a discounted price for someone, we usually do like a development exclusivity contract. So if we're lowering our rates for someone,
like in the beginning, let's go back to
let's go back to the beginning.
Like college days, like in the beginning.
College days.
Because now you guys, nobody should really, neither you or I should have, we have the experience now. Right. But like back in the day, is this something, is that a technique that you would use to start building your brand to leverage in the future for like you guys or even me to be able to be in the seat in the future?
Absolutely.
Couple of years?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, especially if a bigger brand was trying to work with us, we would do whatever to, get that contract. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. The experience is very valuable.
Definitely. I think because of the no free work thing, a lot of early freelancers, people who want to actually build agencies, they are like, no, where's the money? And there's a lot of opportunity if one just creates a portfolio piece to then kind of bait a larger company. Like they can actually get some very serious contracts, maybe not the first one, but at least they can start building that relationship that then might turn into like a 5-year and your whole agency might just be like an internal agency for that business. And that's just off of one relationship where you might have done like for me, for example, my first project with a large company that just came out of nowhere was like $100. I wouldn't sneeze for $100 now, or maybe I'd sneeze. But
I'll take the $100 right.
It's a little different. Anyway, I'm glad that you guys have that perspective on that topic. I want to move into. I want you guys to kind of formulate, if you can. I know it's a very hefty question. Can you kind of like layer for us, like almost the foundations that were important for you guys to build internally at SKS? Like when you guys were like, okay, initially we want to build an agency. What did you guys try to figure out? Or let's actually take it from today's perspective, because it's probably gonna be a lot clearer. What did you learn are really important for your guys' business processes, like from business development to actually finding talent to, fulfill these contracts that you guys have? Like, I don't know really how to ask the question, but for you guys to run a fluid business, what are those things to you all? If you could like go 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, 3, what is that tier of a successful business process look like to you guys? And then we'll kind of dive into that. Like, what did you all need to put into place?
I think,
and I know that was like 25 questions in one. I apologize.
Let me think this through. But I mean, what's really important is obviously the team that we have. We have a pretty amazing team. We've worked with our team members for quite some time. So just getting the right people who are really passionate about their work is really important, which is really hard to do too. But we're very lucky with quite an amazing team. Project management's really important, just making sure we're managing all of our projects to make sure that everything is being launched on time, that our clients are happy. Communication between the team and our clients is huge.
Yeah.
Like just making sure that we're constantly communicating with our clients and communicating with our team and everyone's on the same page. I hope I'm answering your question
No, you're
properly.
Okay. We're going high level really quick.
Yeah. Ari, do you have some additions to this?
I mean, really, to try to keep it a well-oiled machine, especially in a time where everything is like virtual, right? Where even right now this meeting is virtual based. Like Laylee was mentioning, project management, you're going to need to use some kind of tool or software to help you manage your time, manage your schedule, manage all of the things that require, development on the project that you're working on. And this extends not just in web development, but any type of engineering work or software work. So, getting a list of all the items that you need done, knocking them out, boom, 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 demoing this for your client, getting the valuable feedback that you need, getting everything launched on time. This is what's really going to keep your business afloat. If you're obsessing over details way too much, and we're all guilty of that, but you could push back the deadline, and that could be bad for your client when they really need something now. Those are the things that kind of really created success for us, just making sure we're getting everything launched, like the MVP, on time when they needed to. It's not that easy. Anyone who's worked in any type of industry knows the amount of work that it takes to get everything on time and the features that are requested. But those were the ones that were really important, really, for me, from a technical side.
It sounds like organization. Design wasn't even mentioned there. It was just like people.
Nope.
and I think that's the big thing, because and I want to highlight it is because design is that's the technical skill that gets us to understand what needs to be delivered.
Right.
But when we actually get into business, it's like client relations, timelines, process, communication. It's all these soft skills, but it needs to be done and delivered in a very smooth process. It's just the fact
Absolutely.
that if I were able to kind of organize this stuff for people in the audience, it's like design is the skill that allows you to understand what is best to deliver to the client, but how to do that is properly is the business. And what that means is the process is just like Ari and Laylee just mentioned. It's how you guys are organizing your timelines. I use Notion for how do you guys do that? Let's dive into that a little bit. What are the tools that you guys use to keep you and your team all aligned? How do you guys communicate? How are you dictating your timelines? What keeps you as a team organized in terms of that business process for the people? I think that's important to go into.
Absolutely. So we use Slack to communicate. Our team members are not all in one location. So it's really important for us to have a way to talk to each other, and Slack is great. So we use Slack to communicate. And then for project management, we use Monday, which has been great, and we like it for now. But yeah, that
sounds like a subscription is about to be moved.
Yeah.
I just remember seeing all those YouTube ads. It was so annoying. I'm like, I'm never gonna use you guys now. You just keep
and we definitely use them.
They're great.
Yeah, so those are the two main tools that we're using right now to just keep our team on track and communicate.
And these are free, right? Monday has a pretty good.
I think they might have a free tier. I think they might. I know Slack for sure has a free tier as well.
Use Excel if you need to. We started.
Yeah, or even
Excel.
Yeah, we started with Excel. Yeah.
You don't have to go crazy.
Google Sheets.
Yeah, talk on WhatsApp. Send a text message. You're already paying for your cell phone bill. Might as well use that and load up everything with back and forths with your colleagues. You could do it without having to get all these subscriptions to things. It's not important.
Yeah, I think that's important to highlight too, because I think as soon as we start talking about programs and things like that, people are like, I have to buy things. I'm not even generating.
Yeah.
Right. There are a lot of things. Notion is free. That's that does well for me, but I've seen Monday. I think, a lot of my other friends online, I think they use Monday too, and they run some serious numbers in terms of their business, and I think they're still on the free plan of both Slack
Right.
and what's we call it, and Monday. And I think even before that, they might use I don't know the name of it, but if you guys just look up like product or just management tools, there's a lot of free ones out there. That help with timeline communication. There's free communication tools, all that stuff. There's free anything. If you just look up something and you put free after it, you'll go find it on the internet.
Yeah.
And certain things like Asana might be a little bit too much, like UI interface stuff.
Asana's
So
free. Yeah.
something just clean and nice. We should also mention, like, Monday is probably getting all this advertising, but also we use a Clockify, which like tracks the amount of time that we work on each feature, which is also really important.
Yeah.
So that is another thing. Like, you want to track your time. You don't want to go overboard with the amount of stuff, because if you're like knee deep in like a development of something, as a designer, I'm sure you all know, like, these things you could just like all night you could spend on it, and then you just spent like 20 hours working on one little thing when that was way too much time. So just to keep yourself like kind of regulated. That's another good thing. Keep track of it, and of course you could use your phone to do it for free, so you don't have to use Clockify.
Beautiful. So with that said, the next couple topics I want to jump into are, one, how did you hire your first contractor, and then I want to jump into how you guys decided pricing. So whoever wants to tackle, because that's one of the biggest challenges that I think everybody who goes through this is just like, all right, I need to somehow replace myself so I can focus on what I need to focus on, and I can find somebody that is able to replace me, and someone that I might be able to train, but who I'm trying to find the best words possible. You need to find somebody that replaces you in your task, but that is at a proper price for the work that they are doing. Because once you start needing to replace yourself, you have to do what is for the business considered higher value work. You have to bring in the clients, and you need to have somebody to fulfill that work. And can you bring us or talk to us a little bit about the first time you needed to hire your first contractor? And just, Ari, I know we've talked about this a little bit also, where it's just the mindset of someone who wants to take 100% of the profit for 100% of their work versus somebody who is willing to take maybe 40% of the profit, or maybe even 50 for the 100% of the amount of work the business is doing. Both of you guys, I'm sure, have a lot to dive on this. It's a dense topic, but I'll let you guys dive in where you want.
Ari, you want to start with this?
So we really always try to find someone who cares about the work that they produce. We're not always looking, like even now, we're always looking for new developers to join our team. We're not really looking for someone who's the jack of all trades, like knows absolutely everything. We provide that kind of like training as well, in-house. A lot of the things that we know how to do, we try to like show and demonstrate to any of the contractors we bring, so they can also learn while they're with us. I think that's also really important, is that if you're like a senior developer or in a senior role, you should really try to instill that knowledge and help lift up the people that you bring on the team. And that's typically what we do. We don't try to look for anyone who's like, oh, I know more than everything, and like it doesn't matter to us. Like, even if you don't know much, like we
comment
still...
on what Ari's saying, the people we've hired to help us, actually all of them had never even built anything on Wix or built anything on Editor X.
Wow.
So
or even been game developers.
Yeah. So usually we're just looking for someone who's just skilled, very personable, easy to work with, and the rest will come with working with the product. So
yeah, I think there's been a couple of instances where the people that work with us ended up getting like lead roles or senior roles in other companies, and we always try to provide like a wonderful opportunity while you're with us, and always provide a beautiful reference so you can always find your own path in the future. So yeah, like we do care about that kind of stuff. Again, it's as long as you care and you want to create some really cool stuff and you want to learn like how to do it, not just the right way, but in a way that I can like really change the way people like view how to use a website or interface with, you know, something that just shows up on the web. That's, you know, we try to achieve, if that makes sense.
It totally makes sense. Now, first of all, I've heard of people taking people who don't have experience in really like in admin stuff and kind of training them with SOPs, but never in like technical things. Like that would give me mass anxiety. So because I'm too anal to I would feel like I would need to watch very carefully. But it sounds like you guys were able to do that. First, I would love for the audience to know where you guys find your talent. Unless that's like proprietary.
Oh no, not at all.
But you're like, no, we've right over here in this part of the, like, you know, I had to make sure this right here, this is where we get our talent.
Yeah.
But also, we're coming up on time for our Q&A thing. But if there's a small answer for how you were able to train those people who had like almost zero experience in terms of building something, that would be awesome. Like a little bit of a snippet, because that, you know, I would learn something from that too.
Yeah, absolutely. So we find our talent in a variety of ways. So we have people who have been referred to us, either like family who knows someone has referred people to us. We found talent on Upwork. Upwork is a really great place. There's a lot of talented people on there. So there's just a variety of places. There's not one like certain place we find talent, but a lot of it is referrals or people who have reached out to us.
Got it. That's beautiful. I love Upwork too.
Yeah, Upwork's great.
Yeah.
And then as far as training, like, while the people we've hired haven't worked on like the WIX platform or EditorX platform, they have built custom websites, so they always have that sort of background. I was like, I thought there was like zero. I was like, what kind of magic? What are you feeding these people? Yeah, so they do have experience, whether it's building on another platform or building custom websites. So they do have a development experience. So it is easy to start training them. And Ari's a really good teacher, and he's really good at, you know, training and explaining things to everyone.
He definitely is.
Well, thank you.
I know that firsthand, and many other people.
Yeah, compliment today. Sweet.
Yeah. All right, I think that's a beautiful answer. So thank you for that. The next thing, just so we're good on time and we can squeeze this in, we got about 10 or 5 minutes before we go into Q&A. So everybody in the chat, get ready to ask your questions, because if you don't, we're going to continue our conversation. So start lighting the chat up with your questions so we can move into that. But the next thing is pricing. How did you guys decide to, this is a two-part question. How did you guys start your pricing when you guys were very new to the agency life? And when did you decide it was okay to ramp up? Like, what was your decision making behind that? So, how did you start pricing, and when did you decide to ramp up?
So pricing is, I think, the most difficult piece, right? Determining what your skills are worth. So I think in the beginning we were kind of all over the place with pricing, and I think it's still something. I mean, we have our set standard pricing now, but it's still something that we kind of struggle with, and it's like, is this the right price? You know, but I don't know. This is a really difficult one. Maybe Ari, you have some more insight on this.
We just did a lot of research over like the last decade. Like, what are other agencies providing for the quality of the work? How do we like identify that amount and then either replicate it or do better than what another agency can do, and then give like a good value proposition for the client? That like obviously had like a number, like what would it take for an engineer to build this in San Francisco or Orange County? We're in Orange County, and then also like in Ohio or somewhere in Ohio. Like, what are the differences? And then we try to like create an aggregate of that, and then like give that number, see if that sticks. And of course, we're always tweaking. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. And then over the years, as we've just been getting busier and busier, now we just like, okay, I know this is going to take this long. I've seen this before. I've done this 10 times in a row in the last month. So I know it's going to cost this much. The last client, it was this much. So it's going to be this much because you're asking for basically the same thing, same e-commerce store, same like loadout. So yeah, like now we have like a more set number that we do kind of tweak, every now and again. But of course, every year with inflation and cost of living, and also making sure that we give everyone who works with us a living wage, something that they are able to survive on and not have to sit there and have ramen. We don't do that. We're an American enterprise. We're a small business, but we want to make sure everybody is taken care of who works with us. So we do, we do charge accordingly, and we want to make sure that all the things that they want, like a client would want, is there, and also like would exceed their expectations. So that's really how we're kind of deciding it. Just look at what's available now, do your research, compare, and then see if you can do better, but also keep the same price that the other agencies are providing. We don't want to race to the bottom. That's the worst thing we can all do.
Yeah, you have to think about the value that you're bringing to your client. Like that's super important. And then also think about your time. Like how much time is it going to take you to build whatever you're building for that client? Make sure that your time is covered and that your value is covered, and just really think about those two things.
They're going to want revisions, so
yeah.
Make sure you account for that.
So to kind of cap that, do you guys do project based or like hourly, or how do you guys do your how do you guys do your contracts? Do you guys say, here's my fixed price, you guys are going to pay 25%, 25, 50? How do you guys, and we don't have to dive into this.
Yeah.
Out of curiosity, just like the top of that question is, do you guys do hourly or project based?
So we usually do project based, and we take 50% up front and then 50% upon completion. We don't transfer any of our work until final payment is made. I think that was a mistake that we had done in the past, where we're working on somebody's site within their account and then they just kind of fall off the face of the earth, and you've completed everything. So that was something that now we do not transfer anything over until final payment is made. We also offer maintenance plans for our clients, which are hourly based, and those we do charge hourly. So most of our clients like to stick with us after the fact, which is really great. And they'll jump on a maintenance plan, and then at that point, they're not being charged based on project, they're being charged based on time worked. So we kind of do it both ways.
They also get a little bit of a discount,
yeah.
So it's nice.
Yeah.
In that regard.
I really like the fact that you guys basically, you have the project, but you also have a lump sum of hours that your clients can basically retain you to help them keep their project going. I think that's really smart, rather than kind of like, those are your two products, rather than kind of having to couple them. You're just like, here are two options. Start off with working with us in this way, and then if you want us to be your team to help maintain that, here you go. I think that's excellent.
Yeah.
There's something I wanted to say and really just reiterate. You guys said something in terms of making sure, Laylee, I think this was you, making sure you get your value, but also I wanted to, from what you were charging, but I think it's super important, where I didn't understand until a little bit later, after like working with Michael Janda on how I was actually charging people, was like, you need to bake in all of your, if you're a single person team in the beginning, like bake in all of your personal and business expenses. Right. And that's like the ground floor of like what you should be charging and wanting to make at least monthly. And then from that ground floor, that's like your burn rate. How much is going to go out of your pocket that month? That's what at a break even you should be charging your clients, or a total sum throughout the month. Now, on top of that, how much you can actually, let's say your expenses are $1,000. So, if that's what you only have to pay a month, we should be friends, and maybe I should figure out what you're doing.
That would be great.
Yes, because anywhere where that ground floor is between that, your expenses, and the amount of margin that you have in between what you are potentially able to charge a client. For example, if you have $1,000 in expenses and, maybe you're able to charge $6,000 for a website. The difference between that $6,000 and your expenses is $5,000. So that's, I don't know what the percentage of that is, but that's, what is it, $5,000 in profit a month. Obviously, you can deal with that. It's the same thing works with bigger numbers. I'm just using smaller numbers so my brain can deal with it for our live conversation here. Public math is not my thing. But the main thing I'm trying to get to everybody here is like bake in your expenses. Like those should be a part of your pricing. And then the next thing is like how much profit do you want to make? And that's how much the percentage of profit you want to make a year. Just highlighting what you both said. All right, last thing, and then we'll move on to our Q&A. I want to bring in Editor X in here. What, for your clients, is Editor X something you have to sell your clients? Obviously, your clientele, they come to you because of Wix. But what are the big pluses for both you as a team and your clients for now using Editor X? Like, what are the big three things for both you and client with this, almost year-old platform?
Do you want to take that one?
Oh, sure. So
I can talk.
Ari can talk about Editor X.
I can talk about X all day.
Let's do it.
So we do love Editor X here. That is the main platform that we try to talk to our clients about. Even if they're coming from the WIX Marketplace, they have a WIX website, we are always telling them about Editor X. One is it's fully responsive. So this is a huge, plus for Editor X. And the regular Wix editor is adaptive. So our clients love that. And the next thing would be the amazing interactions, like scroll effects that we can do, animations that we can do, just the way we can take advantage of the full canvas and just make something really cool. So once we show some of the stuff that we've done in Editor X, people are usually like, okay, I want Editor X. Like, this is what I want.
Sold.
So it's not super hard to sell people on Editor X, really, because once they see what it can do and what we can build in it, they're sold. I know you said three things. I'm missing one. Ari, do you have?
We don't. If we want to leave it at the top one or two, I gave us options for three, but one or two is perfect.
But we always talk about the benefits of both platforms, and of course we try to have our clients push towards Editor X because we love building on Editor X and we love the things that we can make. So it's not really a hard sell for us.
I dig it. So it sounds like basically the responsivity, the amount of things, just like the freedom that you have in the platform to create really advanced and just cool things is like the selling point.
Absolutely.
Very nice. You have anything to add there, Ari?
Well, I think Laylee actually touched on the majority of it. Really, like, it's all show it, don't tell. Like, don't talk to people about Editor X. Say, get on a Zoom call with me. I'm going to share my screen and show you what's possible in Editor X. And, you can reference the beautiful expressions that Wix already provides, those templates that are just outstanding. Also, you can go to the community. A lot of people, even on the Discord channel that you all have right now, a lot of people are creating some amazing content. Just show it. Show what is possible. And, 9 times out of 10, that's it. It's, it's a wrap. People are like, I need this right now. If they have like a store or they have all these competitors in the industry that they're trying to compete with when it comes to products, you're going to have so much more of an impact having an Editor X site just because of how gorgeous it is compared to like any other other platforms that just are working within these tiny margins and looks like it's from the early 2000s. So you're going to get a real big leg up as a client. Like you're going to get a big difference in the amount of people that will come to your site and actually trust your business. Because if I see a site that looks kind of so-so, I may not be inclined to want to buy anything on there. But if I see something that looks insanely awesome, I'm like, oh yeah, this is what I want. So again, using some of these like tricks to talk about like what it could do for your business, these are all really important. And not only that, like just the amount of new like movement features that are possible. I think Laylee also touched upon them, like sticky effects and stuff. Really amazing. Again, I could talk about EditorX all day. It's one of my favorite platforms.
We need a whole nother hour for your monologue. But I guess together it sounds like it's super amazing in terms of what you can actually build, the speed in which you're able to build it in, and I guess because of the speed, also probably the price points work a little bit better with your clients. I'm assuming that, but I know the cost for people who build like WordPress websites, and they show me this, and they're getting charged like 10 to 20,000. I'm like, for like months of work, and then I look at the website and want to claw my eyes out. And so EditorX brings speed to the table, dynamicism, responsiveness, and happy clients. So
right.
I think we can kind of put a period on that. And I do want to open up our Q&A. I know we're a little bit over. We're gonna have to let both Ari and Laylee have a call literally at 2. So you guys have 5 minutes to type as fast as possible for your questions. We might be able to get maybe 1 or 2, but also do know that these two are in our Discord. They're very busy, but they are very active, and they help literally everybody while I'm working. All the questions I'm supposed to answer are literally already answered by like Ari, Noah, and Randy, and so they're doing the universe's work in the Discord. So this is not the last time you guys will see them. So I was trying to give you guys a little monologue so you guys could type very quickly, but I see no questions so far. But I know we're behind. Like the stream is about 1 or 2 minutes behind. Adrian has a question. How do you find the WIX Marketplace leads, and what is your process there?
So the WIX Marketplace has been pretty great for us. We've been on there for a while now. So right now our process with WIX Marketplace is we have an automatic email that goes out as soon as a lead comes in. And in that email, we are directing them to book a call with us. And that email alone is very successful. Like I don't have to call and reach out to people. I don't manually send an email back. That auto email, people book a lot of calls with us from that email. And then we meet with them. We do a 30-minute consultation call. We learn about their business and what they need. And then we try to close the deal from there.
Oh, that was that's going to be a gem. I like that. Because we get so many questions about the marketplace. And I think just that automation is going to make so many eyes
Yes, twinkle. Do the automation. That's amazing.
All right, question number 2 again from Adrian. How do your big commercial clients use WIX?
So
I think you guys deal a lot with real estate. But go ahead.
Yeah, we do have real estate. We actually have clients from all over. We have some, big e-commerce clients. We have some bigger like businesses. We have apps that we've done, websites for. I mean, they've never really had a problem with using WIX or EditorX. We're pretty much managing it for them. So they've never been like, oh, we need to move platforms or anything like that. I think as long as you're keeping it up and showing them everything that's possible within those platforms, then they'll stick with you. We also do a lot of custom code. So if there's something that doesn't exist, we are fellow experts and we'll make it happen.
I love it. So basically the sky's the limit, and people really don't what it seems to me, it's not the platform that matters, it's really just the outcome.
Exactly.
So I think that's one of the big takeaways from this is just what is possible. We talked about this a little bit earlier. The amazing things that can be built in these platforms, and really just what your clients are looking for is the outcome, and you guys give that.
Right.
All right.
Yeah, there's not a lot of limitations in WIX. You can do a lot of really cool, amazing stuff with it.
Yeah, it seems like it just takes time and patience to actually learn the capabilities of the platform from a service provider side.
Right.
I think that's what it sounds like. And question number 3 we have, Ken, I know we kind of went over this again, but it was a little separated. Can you guys share the apps and software you use for project management?
Yeah, so right now we use Monday, Slack, and Clockify. Those are the three main softwares that we're using right now.
Excelente. And
You
let's
don't have
see.
to use those. There's so many good ones. There's so many free ones. Use whatever you're comfortable with.
Got you. And I mean, it's true. There's no one size fits all in terms of personal business solutions. So
Right.
use what you can get, and that helps you.
Absolutely.
And Adrian is saying, I've always felt the automated messages are a little spammy from a user experience perspective. So can you talk a little bit about, because there's a way to do messages that don't feel spammy, like it's an art,
Right.
it's copywriting. So
Yeah.
can you talk a little bit about what you might put into that email? Because I'm sure it's just not like an automated message with like your Calendly and be like,
No.
talk to you later.
Yeah, so I give a I give a brief like, hey, this is Laylee from SKS Creative. I talk just like one sentence about, our experience. And then from there I say, I'd love to learn more about your project and your needs. It would be best if we set up a call. Here's a link. Pick a time that's best for you. That's probably not exactly what I say, but it's in this realm. And then they book a call. I've never had anyone say like, hey, you're spamming me or anything like that.
Unsubscribe.
And yeah, unsubscribe.
Subscribe.
Yeah, the automated message I think has worked really well. As long as you make it like really personal, try to make it personal with what you have, and without being like, this is what we do, here's our prices, book a call. It's like, I want to learn more about what you need, like, and then
Right.
book a call.
And the WIX Marketplace, it may feel spammy to us or to you, but they're actually trying to build a website. They need help. So they really are, like, that email is very valuable for them because they do want information. They do want to get help.
Right.
So it's not spammy, it's, yeah, I need this link. Send me who can I talk to?
And they're getting a
So-
response immediately, which is great because, as you know, there's multiple WIX partners that are assigned, when a lead comes in. So if you're getting that first, contact with them, that it's important.
Timing is key. The first, what is it? The early bird gets the worm. That's
Exactly.
probably wrong,
Exactly.
but that sounds about right.
Yeah.
But ladies and gentlemen, I want to be wary of what time it is. I know, Laylee, you have to run. But ladies and gentlemen, we will be in Discord literally in about 5 minutes because I need to go to the bathroom and I need to get some water. So we will be in there for our Discord chat, our design and chat. I'm not sure. I think Ari's going to be busy, but we will have our usual participants. We're going to be talking about all things Editor X, because I do see a question about what's the difference between WIX and Editor X. We might have some people, we might have an answer for you in our Discord. But I do want to say thank you so much, Laylee and Ari, for giving us a full hour of your time. This was very valuable, not to me and not only to me, but I'm sure very much for our audience as well. And I can't wait to cut snippets out of this because it's been, there's a lot of gems in here, and I just want to thank you guys.
Thank you so much, Brandon.
Thank
It's
you.
been a pleasure. Thank you everyone for watching and listening.
Thank you.
All right, and as a closing, where can we find you online? Of course, all those things are down in the description, but we would love it to also be audible for those watching.
Yeah, so we are on Instagram. It's SKS_creative. We'd love for you to follow us there, or you can go to our website. It's sks-creative.com.
All right, well, thank you guys so much. I will go back to closing out the show, and if you guys need to leave, feel free, and I'll see you guys later.
Bye. Thanks, everyone.
Bye. Take it easy. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining our session with both Ari and Laylee. I am super excited to not only just know them, but to really just have them on here for an hour to discuss a little bit of their journey. Again, like I said, these two amazing individuals are in our Discord. They're usually working really hard, but when they have a moment to come in and hang out and really just help with people who are having challenges with Editor X or just answer overall industry and design questions, they are there in the chat, literally just being awesome people and answering questions. So if you want more of this and personable relationships and people to really, help you along in your own journey, please definitely join our Discord. Links are down in the description. We are about to have literally about 1 to 2 hours worth of a design chat where we're going to be talking a little bit more about Editor X, any questions or challenges, going over any questions or challenges that you guys have about the platform, and really just saying hi to anybody who's just joined our Discord. So with that said, I will see you there. Again, links down in the description, and I'll see you on the next one. We come back every Wednesday, same time, same place, usually same time, same place, 1 p.m. EST, with more news, awesome guests, and a lot more. So I'll see you next Wednesday, and I'll see you in the Discord. Peace. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching and tuning into this episode of Real Talk, brought to you by Groce, the world's most powerful no-code design platform for designers and creatives alike. If you want to watch more amazing videos like this, check out our playlist down in the description with all of our Real Talk episodes, including other educational videos like Editor X tutorials. And also, do not forget to subscribe, hit the bell notification so you get notified each week when we go live, and of course, if you feel so inclined, don't forget to smash the like button because it helps us reach more creatives like yourself each and every day. With that said, I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day, and I hope to see you guys on the next one. With that said, Brandon Groce, out.